Welcome to my new video series covering pre-algebra. In this video, I'm just going to do a quick overview of what pre-algebra is and why it's important. So if that sounds like something you're interested in knowing, just keep watching. So first off, what is pre-algebra? Well, the easiest definition is that it's the class that comes before Algebra 1. You may have seen that sort of naming convention with other classes, or you may see that convention again soon. For instance, often calculus is followed by pre-calculus. Or if your school offers AP courses, such as AP English, you might be able to take a pre-AP English. So the pre part of this is just to say this class is leading to the next class and is designed specifically to prepare you for that class. So what kind of things can we see in pre-algebra? We can see a collection of skills that most people would consider necessary for understanding algebra. So things like what I'm going to show you on the next slide. So a lot of these are things you've been working on for a while now in math, but it's important for you to be able to work with fractions, decimals, newer probably to you, work with positive and negative integers. You maybe even haven't done that yet, so pre-algebra might be where you actually learn that. Being able to work with variables and solve simple equations and inequalities. Again, maybe you've done some of that, maybe you haven't. Typically these days, a little bit of algebra is actually snuck in pretty early. Anytime you've answered the question blank plus 5 equals 10 and known what that blank was, that's actually doing algebra. And then it gets a little tricky from here because there's lots of things that can be in your pre-algebra class, and it depends on where you live, it depends on the teacher you have, it depends on things like whether or not there's school days taken out because of snow or a random virus or whatever it might be. So I narrowed this down to what, as an algebra teacher, I feel like are the most important things to make sure to fit in, because anything else that you would do in algebra, we can always start from kind of the beginning. If you've seen it in pre-algebra, that's great, but if you haven't, we can build on it. Basically, the more you know before going into algebra, in a lot of ways, the better. The more prepared you'll be, and the easier it should be. Ready to get started and learn from a video? Well, here's some tips for you. First, grab some paper and a pencil. That way, you're prepared in case you decide you want to write something down. Next, find a quiet place to watch where you can concentrate. You may be surprised to find out that it's hard to learn math from a video, or anything from a video, when you are also watching TV, or when your siblings are running around being loud, or when, we could fill in a lot of other things. It's hard to learn from a video when you're also trying to play a game on your phone at the same time. I know this from personal experience. I've tried. It doesn't work. Next, follow along with the video. So essentially, you're going to pretend like this video is you being in class with a teacher, and listen to what the teacher says. Next, write down examples, especially, or anything else that you think you might want to look back at later, and practice each of the skills that's being taught. So if the video shows you an example and you think you actually know how to do it, you can always pause the video and try it yourself and then start it back up to see how you did. That's a really, really cool skill to develop. And make sure that you're prepared to pause and rewind when necessary. I try really hard to make sure in my videos that I don't accidentally skip over anything. So you can always try to rewind and see if what you missed was explained, or keep watching a little bit to see if I touch on what your question is. But you can always comment if you feel like you've missed something, or have an older sibling or a parent come over and watch that part of the video and see if they can figure out what the missing step is. But definitely feel free to comment so that I can hopefully address that issue at another point in time. Thanks so much for watching. This is a pretty short video, but I thought it was important to actually talk about what is pre-algebra before we get started with pre-algebra. Please feel free to check out my website for more resources. I'm putting more and more stuff on there every day. It's www.KStevMath.com, And for instance, if you're interested in pre-algebra resources, you'd go to the pre-algebra tab and see what all I've got there. Thanks again for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, whatever you feel like you want to do there. I'd appreciate it.